Thank you. Let's get more on this now and talk to Robert Kelly. He's a professor of political science and diplomacy at Pusan National University in South Korea. Professor Kelly, let's talk first about those joint military exercises being hosted by South Korea and the US. As Harry Fawcett, our reporter, was saying there, because he's with those troops carrying out those military drills, these drills always agitate the North Koreans. Are they likely, do you think, to increase tensions even further, given what's happening on the peninsula?
No, not this time, not so much. These have happened every year for a while. The North Koreans know they're coming and they use them as a pretext. The real issue is the nuclear the nuclear tests and the missile deployment and the possible missile launch. I think everyone is surprised they haven't launched yet. They might use the exercises as a pretext, but I don't think these exercises add a great deal to what's already happened. I mean, it's already been pretty severe for the last month. I suppose the exercises don't help, but it's also important to send a deterrent signal to the North, so I think they should happen.
Away from those naval drills, we know that South Korea is proposing formal talks with the North over restarting operations at the Kaesong industrial complex. Is the North likely to accept the offer of those talks, do you think?
Probably, because Kaesong is such an easy source of U.S. dollars for the North. The North has a great deal of trouble, as you might imagine, exporting things they don't export. They don't make a great deal for export, and they're under heavy UN sanctions. So they have real trouble raising hard currency. The South Korean firms that operate in Kaesong pay the government, not their workers, and they pay the government in dollars, not in South Korean won. So it's a nice cash cow for the North. On the other hand, the way the South has talked about Kaesong in the last month, particularly in the media, where they sort of bluffed North Korea to close the system, to close the plant, and then just a few days ago they said if they don't close it, there's going to be grave consequences. Talking like that to North Korea, giving them ultimatums, is a surefire way to encourage them to not accept your offer.
Let me get a sort of wider perspective from you here. Are we any clearer as to what North Korea really wants from all of this? Because Pyongyang remains unpredictable, it remains an enigma, but in conventional or nuclear terms, it couldn't defeat South Korea and the US anyway. So what does it really want?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we still don't really know. I mean, it's been, you know, the news cycle has been taken over by the terrorism issues in the Middle East and Boston in the last week. We haven't really heard a great deal from the North. My own sense is the North may actually be using the shift in coverage in the last week towards the Middle East and terrorism as a way to back down, to get out of the corner it painted itself into in the last month with all this rhetoric. So it's still unclear. My sense is from sort of the observer community, the analyst community, most of us think that the North is primarily interested in getting aid from the South. The South used to give aid to the North. They have not in about 6 or 7 years. And this really hurts the North. This forces the North solely into the hands of the Chinese, which limits their options, and they don't like that. So most people think this is an effort to shake down the new Southern president in South Korea for cash, assistance, rice, etc.
All right, Robert Kelly there in Busan, South Korea. Thank you for talking to Al Jazeera.
Thank you.